We're here with Michael, and he's going to tell us how to paint a ceiling at your home. So,
my name is Michael. The proper way to paint the ceiling is, first of all, you're going to need yourself a Sherlock Woodster extension pole, which I would highly recommend. I would go with an Aura roller, or you can get a 1/4-inch nap roller, which I'm using an Aura roller, which, you know, difference between an Aura roller and a regular roller is like the fine finish on a wall, like you have the bubblies, and it makes it the smooth finish, like somebody spray painted with a gun. I would suggest to have your extension with an Aura roller. You have to have a tray like I have my ladder over there, which Dana is going to show you, with the tray. You know, you don't need a ladder quite as high as I have, but I'm a big guy, so I use a big ladder. And you want to get your roller into the paint, but you want to roll it back and forth to get the excessive paint off. And what I do is a little trick. I just give it a little tap to make sure it's not too much paint dripping. And most important of all, if you notice the area, you want to move all your stuff in the living room, whatever area you're working in the middle, and cover with plastic sheets, whatever you have is fine. You know, anything will do to keep the paint off. And when you start to roll, you want to start them in a spot that you can go back and forth to get excessive paint off the top. So you're going to roll it in a very smooth manner. You don't want to go too erratic, too slow, or too fast. And you want to try and keep a constant pressure on the roller, but not too much pressure that you're going to have the paint squeezing out of your roller and dripping on your floor. And just even strokes. But most important with a ceiling when you're painting daylight, I would say, is lighting. You got to have good lighting, and you got to watch, because wet and dry paint, you'll think you missed a spot, you're going to go over 2-3 times, you're going to make it worse. Me personally, I use Benjamin Moore paint. Benjamin Moore paint is the best paint out there. I've been painting for many years. Actually, I did all the trim work. I caulked in, did all the trim work already. I used the semi-gloss paint on the doors and trim work, as you can see. I'm probably going to change the gold door knobs and go with a silver. I think it'll look nice, because this accent wall is going to be a burgundy, and this is going to be like an HC44, which is like a tan color. I'm going to do the other walls in. You know, a lot of people like to do that, but if you're going to do an accent wall, I would suggest that you do an accent wall that doesn't have the windows on. The biggest wall you want is an accent wall. Me personally, or if you want to walk into the living room, wow, I want this to be my accent wall by the windows, you can do that. But that's not my preference. My preference is I like to do a solid wall as an accent wall. Then again, I'm going to show you how to roll. I'm going to come back down here where I left off. I like to go in the same direction. You know, either you go left to right, you know, south, you know, north to south, or east to west. I like to keep in the same direction so I could kind of remember where I was. And you know, you really don't, you can't leave roller marks, and you can't see them. If you notice up in the hi-hats that Dana's going to show you now where the lights are, that I took the covers off. You know, most of your time is prep work. Getting the covers off, you know, filling your holes in, and getting everything smooth, man. I mean, the ceiling, to me, the ceiling is the hardest part. Once you have the ceiling done, I'm still on my first coat. Actually, if you look at the ceiling, I probably don't need another coat, but me being a professional, I'm going to give it 2 coats. Then I'm going to start on my wall over here. I usually pick a spot. I'll probably start over here because it's going to be my accent wall. So I'm going to start on this wall with my HC44, and I'm going to run that around afterwards. But after I do the ceiling 1 coat, so you don't lose time, you have plenty of work, you can go back over the walls, make sure everything's spackled nice and clean. You don't feel no knots, no dirt, you know, no snot, we call it on the walls. Like these little things here, feel these little things here, they don't show you on the wall. This is what they call snot. So you just take a little piece of sandpaper and knock them off to have a correct finish. And I had an amateur, well, not an amateur, a friend of mine, Fat Mike, came over here last night and he helped me paint. And see how he has paint all over this? But these covers come off, you can clean them, wipe them right off. He was in a hurry to get out of here. But he's still a good friend of mine. He's a really big head like me. Alright, well, I'm going to get back to painting, Dana, because I want to finish this ceiling. And catch me on chapter 2 when I do the accent wall, or I'll show you how to do the plaster work. Nice to meet you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Michael.
Enjoy painting.